Good morning. It is Sunday, May the 29th, about 9:40 a.m. This is Shay Gibson with Weather Flow and Wind Alert, giving you a quick tropics update. It looks like the National Hurricane Center has downgraded Tropical Storm Bonnie to tropical depression as it makes landfall just over Charleston, South Carolina. It's pushing inland as we speak. So the winds are at 35 miles an hour. The pressure is at 1,009 millibars. It's up 2 millibars from last night. And the general direction for this system is heading to the north at about 8 knots. So the new track from the National Hurricane Center takes this to the northeast up the coastline. There is still a little bit of indication that we could see a central North Carolina movement or even come back out over the water and hold a depression status. So if we look at the tracks for this, we can see a little bit more in the detail what's going on. The berth is a little bit wide. They're mostly in agreement with the northerly track for the system today, but in time we could see this kind of uncertainty grow as the Bermuda high pressure that is steering it seems to keep it on track with its general clockwise rotation. So it looks like that the Bermuda high is doing exactly what most of the models have indicated as before. Even though the GFS did have an Appalachian Ridge suppressing the system to the south, it looks like that ridge is not really holding it. It's not building into the area to keep the system suppressed to the south, so that allows the Bermuda high to pull it up and around and out. So that is what is going on for now for the track guidances. If we look at the intensity, for the model intensity, most of these models do keep this weak, so especially since it's inland. Generally when we have tropical systems or tropical cyclones make it onto land, they usually weaken rather quickly and they go down to a depression or just a central low pressure. So we still have to watch for moisture and rains to wrap around this system. If we look at the GRE on radar, we can see about where the center is right now. And it looks like it's just inland of Charleston. It just made landfall here not too long ago. But you can see some of this banding that's coming in, some of this tropical banding feeding in off the ocean. And there's some hail signatures that were showing up on level 2 radar. I'm not sure if they're there anymore, but at least for right here, you can see a little bit of a diamond that popped up right there. It's a little bit of a hail signature. It doesn't mean it was falling to the ground, it just means that there was ice in the cloud tops. So that indicates that there's some vertical stacking and some thunderstorm activity building higher up in the atmosphere to be able to have hail signatures. So that's one thing to remain on the lookout for today as we get some of this wraparound feed coming in off the ocean around the system. So the winds right now are from the west or west-southwest. In time, as this system moves to the north, I believe that these winds will become a little bit more westerly in nature. If we take a look at Datascope for the Charleston area, see what's going on right now. Let's look at our Charleston Mesonet, see what the stations are doing. Let this load. And right now we have a general westerly flow. So out here in the Charleston Harbor we have 18 knots gusting to 23 knots. That's of 9:40 a.m. Temperature is about 73.2 degrees. And the beaches are seeing more of a west or southwest flow here from 18 to 24 knots. So it's pretty jumpy out there. The wind field is going to be jumpy today due to the gradients kind of flexing in and out around some of these tropical bands that are still showing around through the area. The wind fields generally tend to be more consistent further out away from the storm, but as you get closer to the center, we see this jumpiness. So even where Folly Beach is showing 14 knots right now with the 18 knot gusts, you can see the spiking going on right there. And that means that the winds are becoming more onshore or more offshore, and they're going to be pretty shifty today. So I would expect that a westerly wind field would be the general guidance. So I know there's a lot of surfers out there hoping for offshore winds because there are some waves today. The swells are, I think, about 4 to 6 feet out there. Some decent waves going on. But we have to keep that in mind with the winds. If they become more onshore, the waves get choppier, and if it becomes offshore, those that are into kiteboarding and whatnot need to be paying strict attention to those winds because they can get really shifty, and then you have offshore winds and it's not good for the kite to stay in the air if you're along the beaches. So I think that's going to do it for the tropical update this morning. And if anything changes significantly throughout the day, I'll come back on, or you'll just check me out on Twitter at Weatherflow Charleston or at Weatherflow Chas, CHAS, and on Facebook in the Chucktown Wind Report. You can find some of the latest updates and information there as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.